everyone, it's Destiny, and today we're going to be showcasing Dan Heng alongside Anaxa. And before we get into today's video, I would love to know if you are personally excited for Dan Heng, if you will be building him yourself. And lastly, if you do enjoy videos like these, do make sure to subscribe, leave a like to support the video, and now let's get straight into it. For our team for today, we're going to be using Anaxa, Sunday, Cerydra, and then of course Dan Heng. And we're going to use our techniques and then get straight into it. So Cerydra is going to apply her buff like so, and so will Dan Heng, giving us some nice shields and then also making Anaxa the bond mate. So we're going to get attacked here, and I'm going to use Dan Heng's ultimate. This ultimate is so cool just for the amount of damage it deals. I think it's honestly a little bit funny. But with Cerydra, what we're going to do is use her skill and then use her ultimate. We're trying to get as many points of charge as possible. And here with Anaxa, I would use his ultimate, but I want to ensure that I have all of Sunday's buffs active first on Anaxa before we get to those 6 points of charge, since the ultimate would have helped us get there. So what we're going to do with Anaxa now is use all of our skills, and we of course also have all of our buffs active now. Well, bam, there we go, nice amount of damage, and then also the Soul Dragon will come in and deal some nice damage itself. With Anaxa, we can use his ultimate. There we go. And we are damaging those little fish creatures as well, since they did get summoned. With Cerydra, we're going to use her skill. With Dan Heng, we will just basic attack onto the big elite in the middle. And now we're going to get hit just a little bit, but this will result in more energy being gained for us. And we ideally want to get another quadruple skill here with Anaxa in a moment. So with Anaxa, we can just use a skill. With Cerydra, I'll just use her ultimate as well. And this will also advance her forward. And now these enemies will be advanced forward as well and also take a bit of damage, as we can see. And with Dan Heng, now we have enough energy for his ultimate. So boom, I still think it's just so funny how much damage that ultimate is dealing, even though it has such a cool freaking animation. But regardless, advance. Now we can just use Anaxa's ultimate right here since we are maxed out on energy. And of course, this quadruple skill is going to give us a bunch of energy, so we definitely wanted to use that ultimate beforehand there. And now they're going to explode. With Anaxa, we could just keep going like so. And boom. And now I'm going to use his ultimate just in case this isn't enough to kill. So there we go. And okay, there we go. Now we're moving on to the next wave, still within the 0 cycle. So we did take a bit of damage there. I am just going to use Sunday's ultimate here since we are going to take a bit more damage, so I might as well. And with Cerydra here, we are going to use her ultimate. Now we have 6 out of 6 points of charge, which means Anaxa will be able to take advantage of another quadruple skill soon. Alright, so Soul Dragon's going to come in and break that shield, which is awesome. Ideally, though, it would have been nice if we could have Dan Heng basic attack to break that shield instead, but I would have to have a faster Dan Heng. If I'm not mistaken, Soul Dragon has an initial speed of 165, so I would definitely have to have more speed on my Dan Heng in order for him to basic attack first, instead of Soul Dragon attacking and breaking that shield. Regardless, though, another ultimate. Oh, okay, we dealt more damage there. Nice, we actually had a crit. Let's go. Okay, and now we can use our skill. All right, and we are about to take some damage. We're gonna try to see if we can get the 0 cycle. I feel like we should be able to. All right, so with Cerydra, we are going to use the skill once again. We are going to also use her ultimate, get back a skill point. We're at 7 out of 6 points of charge, which means Anaxa will be able to quadruple skill in a moment here. And these little enemies here are almost goners, so we're going to get rid of them pretty soon. Oh my gosh, that one off to the right is literally... There we go. Okay. I wish those little fish honestly exploded sooner, because then the bounce attacks would have only been between Japard and then the other elite, but it's fine. Okay, we still have some skills. And they took a decent amount of damage right there. With Sunday, we will just reapply the ultimate here on We are taking a bit more damage here. And we can just basic attack. with Sunday here, advance forward. Oh no, we have 3 out of 6 points of charge. Oh no. Oh my gosh, Japard is almost gone too. I feel like if we had the quadruple skill there, maybe we would have been able to do. Wait, let me just see how much damage this elite's gonna take. That'll determine it. No! I think we actually could have gotten the 0 cycle if we had more points of charge. Oh, that's so unfortunate. Because the other elites would have definitely gone down, and then Japard was only around 19%, but with 2 more skills, especially if a lot of the bounces ended up hitting Japard, that I feel like that would have been enough to get the 0 cycle. So we were very, very close, honestly. And everyone on this team is also E0. If there were any E1s at all, I'm pretty sure the 0 cycle would have honestly been guaranteed. It was pretty unfortunate that we ended up getting the 1 cycle instead of the 0, but regardless, still pretty good results, of course. And here we're gonna go over Anaxa's build real quick. So here is Anaxa's stats. We definitely have way too much crit rate. We don't need 89% because Sunday's gonna be able to give us 20% with his skill, but unfortunately this is how the relics ended up rolling. So we have 89 crit rate and then 158 crit damage. Ideally here we would want more crit damage, but it's okay. As for the light cone, we are using the signature, but here are some alternatives you can use. And of course, if you don't have many erudition light cones, Anaxa's free-to-play option is an excellent option to consider using on him. For his traces, they are maxed out. For his relics, we're using Rutland Arena, Scholar Loss, and Erudition. And lastly, for his Eidolons, he is completely E0, and I have not activated any of these. Now we have Sunday, and we can just quickly go through his stats as well. Sunday is using his signature light cone. For the traces, they are maxed out. For the relics, we're using Loose Shaka and then Ordeal. Loose Shaka is going to give even more attack to Anaxa, and then also Ordeal will assist with giving even more crit damage for Anaxa as well. As for the Eidolons, they are completely E0. I've not activated any of these. Now we have Cerydra. Here she is. We have a faster Cerydra this time around. But because of the fact that we weren't able to obtain the 0 cycle, you can also go for a slower Cerydra. I mainly wanted to test out a faster Cerydra to see for the 0 cycle potential, since I actually do have her on Eagle set. And the reason I have her on Eagle set is so that when she uses her ultimate, she's going to be able to advance herself forward. And this is in an attempt to try to get more points of charge for Anaxa to be able to use his quadruple skill a bit more frequently. But of course, you can use an alternative build than this one. I would still recommend Lushaka. It's a really nice planar set for Cerydra to hold, but of course, for the 4-piece set, you can consider an alternative set. As for the light cone though, we do have her signature light cone, and here are some alternatives that you can consider using on her. And what's really nice is that Cerydra has a nice free-to-play option. For the Eidolons, she is completely E0. Honestly, if she had this E1, I have no doubt that we would have gotten the 0 cycle, since we would have been able to also ignore defense even further, with Anaxa being able to take advantage of his skills, as any character with military merit will ignore 16% of the target's defense when dealing damage. And then when this is upgraded, you'll additionally ignore 20% of the target's defense when dealing skill damage. This is going to be very useful when it comes to being able to heavily ignore enemies' defenses, and then on top of that, she'll be able to regenerate 2 energy for an ally when she uses her skill on them, which can just help in the case of getting a bit more energy for your main damage dealer. But ultimately, the main thing I'm looking at here is the defense ignore that this Eidolon provides. So in the case of the 0 cycle, I have no doubt that we honestly would have gotten it if we had E1 active, but I like to just try out all these characters here at E0. As for Dan Heng, here he is. For his light cone, we are using his signature. For his traces, they are maxed out. And then for his relics, we are using Lushaka and then the new shield set, which this set is great for Dan Heng, as this will allow his shield effects to increase, which will just ultimately strengthen his shields. So this set is an amazing option for him. And then also it'll give additional crit damage to the team as well, as long as they are holding a shield provided by the wearer, which Dan Heng's shields, as we saw in the showcase just now, held up amazingly. So you you will be able to nicely take advantage of this crit damage boost as well. As for his Eidolons, completely E0. I've not activated any of these. And when it comes to using Anaxa alongside Sunday and Dan Heng, I have mentioned this in another video, but what's really nice about Dan Heng is that he's going to be able to make an ally the bond mate, which them being the bond mate will result in him summoning Soul Dragon for them, and Soul Dragon also has an initial speed of 165. Soul Dragon will count as a summon for that ally. So in this case, Anaxa was the bond mate, and now he technically had a summon thanks to Dan Heng. What this now results in is that Sunday is going to be able to give the full buff from his skill, for instance. So it mentions how Sunday will be able to increase the damage dealt of an ally by 30%, but if they have a summon, then this will increase by an additional 50%, resulting in 80% total. This now means that due to the fact that Anaxa has a summon now, this now means that Sunday will be able to provide the 80% damage boost instead of only 30% for Anaxa. So it's a really powerful synergy that you can take advantage of if you have Sunday as well as Dan Heng, and this can apply to plenty of damage dealers as well that can heavily take advantage of this cool synergy that they have with one another. And that should be all for today's showcase. I hope you all did enjoy today's video, and if you did, do make sure to subscribe, leave a like to support the video, and lastly, if you'd like to see a specific Dan Heng showcase from me, do let me know in the comments down below, and I can try my best to do that for you. And I hope all of you have a great one like always. Bye bye.